Hi nurses, this is Dr. Tracey Long. Yes, a nurse of over 30 years, and we're bringing to you our inspiring stories we're calling the Healer's Heart series. So that as you're working, you're tired, you can click and watch one of these uplifting stories and then feel hopefully renewed and remember that's why you went into nursing. Well, I know you see a lot of patients, and after a while, sometimes they all do start blurring together and we even forget their names. So the story is told by Linda McNeil, who was actually a physical therapist. And so in a busy day in a long-term care facility, she had her assistant, Bobby, was told to go down to 46B and go get the hip in 46B because they needed to have their turn at physical therapy. So they had fallen, had a ORIF, and then it was important for them to get stability and be able to start walking again on their own. Well, so Bobby, the assistant, went to 46B to go tell them, hey, it's your turn for physical therapy. Come on with me. Let's get it done. Well, the patient said no. So Bobby came back to the physical therapist and said, the hip in 46B said, no, he doesn't want to come. Well, he has to come. He's got to get mobile. He's got to get strength before he can be discharged. So go back and tell the hip in 46B, it's time for his session. So Bobby diligently and obediently went back to the room. Well, he came back again, head forlorn, and said, the hip in 46B isn't going to come. He said, fine, well then I'm going to go tell him myself. So the physical therapy, dutifully, trying to stay on schedule, be on time, went into the hip in 46B, right? And then suddenly he saw the man. He saw the man, not just the room, 46, or the diagnosis, the hip. And then he began to look around the room and he saw a magazine, the Nebraska Rancher, with the patient's name on it and another plaque of who's who in his specialty field. And he thought, and this man, this old man who I just have been calling the hip, has done more in his life than I probably ever will in mine. Finally, he looked up and said, Mr. Carlson, when would you like to do physical therapy? He realized that this man had been reduced to a small four-wall room. His independence and notoriety and even intelligence had just been overshadowed by the fact that he was a hip in this room, 46B. Sometimes we get that way and we do get a little callous. And it reminded me of a very similar experience that I had with one of my nursing students. Yes, we're answering call lights and everybody was older. And to us, it was just an old person, get up, get them dressed, get them over into the social area, get them to their meal, whatever it is that we needed to do. We had a long list, 42 patients and only 8 students that we were trying to manage all of these things with. So call light goes on. Yes, we got to get this older man up to a toilet, etc. So we go in and we see an older man. I'm going to say he was 90, right? Small, frail. And so we're trying to maneuver and get him up into the bedside or into the actual bathroom. And his head's down, his shoulders are shrunk, slumped over. And so we get him over there and plop him down, and he was a fall risk. So we really didn't want to leave him, but we also kind of wanted to leave him some dignity. So I said, let's wait for you just right here at the door. Are you okay? And he shook his head and you knew that he was going to kind of fall over. So we stay with him, do about our business, and are trying to get him up. And finally, I realized his head is down here, and I was under here trying to lift him up. And I said and asked him his name, tell me what you did as a young man. He said, and his shoulders suddenly got straight, rolled back, and he lifted up his head and he said, I was an Air Force pilot in Squadron 439. And I also felt like this man served in World War II and served the world and gave us freedom and stability. And now it's my turn to give him some freedom and stability and dignity. It changed the entire interaction. So may we nurses, as we go about our day, remember we're serving people, not just conditions. And thank you for all of your work that you do with your healing hands, that you may go forth and enjoy those experiences, learn about your patients, and let them feel that dignity for the lives that they've lived. And so with that, thanks again and happy healing.